Hey everybody, welcome to episode 4 of Weaverdice Vegas. The drama continues this week as the Brain Bros attempt to execute the plan they put into motion last time. If you tweet about Weaverdice Vegas with hashtag We've Got Dice, we'll work your Twitter handle into the show, and if you become a patron of Doof Media at patreon.com/doofmedia, you can join our Discord and participate in the generation of the powers that are wielded by the friends and foes of our villainous band. Let's go see how the gang are getting along. Last time on Weaverdice Vegas. Snake Eyes told me, well, he offered me powers.
To be honest, sometimes I think maybe I don't know what's wrong from right anymore.
Man, that's just your con science talking to you.
I thought you should know that even though the damage is pretty bad, they can still recover. Now, anyway.
Molds have all sorts of useful properties to them, and it's this little type of mold that somehow works its way into the innards of ants and creeps up to their brainstem. We tell Poke in this message that he's to come alone to this location with the stolen merchandise and say $500,000 of apology money.
You could find anyone that's in the city for me if, I needed it.
Well, for the right fee, if you gave me a picture of their face.
It 18,000 second energy. It turbo powers your motivational drives by unlocking the full scope of dog mortality to your mind. Also, it has a gram of caffeine.
I think
Oh,
just,
oh God,
well,
Being a bit greedy, though, aren't you, Tex? Expecting to get away with arson and murder on the same day?
well, I suppose if you're going to be in Vegas, you've got to risk big to win big.
The three of you are gathered in an alley near the Jackdaw's Sphinx with a handful of other high rollers' capes, Helter Skelter with a healed leg, Lightfinger, Negative, Flicker, Snooker, and Rabble, who you guys haven't met yet. And there's another mysterious figure wearing a long, heavy riding coat with long sleeves that cover his hands and a thick, deep hood pulled up to hide his face. Snake Eyes is not here. Hanging in the background closer to the mouth of the alley that you're hunkering down in are 10 or so unpowered High Rollers goons. As this scene opens, Lightfinger is doing knife tricks, spinning and catching a thin, flat throwing knife that he has, and he says, all right, Rusty, seems like this is your party. What's the plan?
I feel like it's been 4 weeks since we talked about it, so could we just go over everything again?
Well, I'm glad y'all asked at this incredibly late juncture. Finally. Well, we're all gathered here today to say our goodbyes to the High Rollers.
You mean the loose cannons?
Yes.
It's a great start.
Yes, I do, because we're the High Rollers. And I was just testing you.
High five.
And you all passed with flying colors. Well, I kind of thought that Snake Eyes was going to be in charge of this operation, so I'm not actually sure what's happening.
Oh, okay.
I know what I'm going to do.
I just want
Okay,
someone
well-
to
Know the general plan of what you're going
recap
to
the
do.
plan for me.
Who did Snake Eyes put in charge of this? Because I'm not going to be here, right?
Oh,
or am I going to be here?
Helter Skelter is in charge of this location,
Okay.
and so he could do it too.
Okay.
So let's establish
Yes,
what the
so
goal is
here's-
and how we're going to get there.
Here's what I would like to do. I would like to just talk to, okay. I was thinking maybe I would just want to talk to Chad, and I don't want to tell everyone what's going to go on at the other location, just in case there's like spies or whatever, because we were careful to do all of that discussion not within range of spies.
Okay.
All right. Well, listen up. Here's the plan that old Snake Eyes came up with. In a few hours, or actually in the very near future, someone is probably going to be leaving this here hideout in a car, with or without a large suitcase full of money. Now, in event one, if the car contains Poke, the leader of the Loose Cannons, with a suitcase of money, as confirmed by Metric here, with his X-ray vision, he's going to give me a little call, and then all y'all just kind of stand by and wait for a bleep update. Option 2, if someone other than Poke leaves the building in a car, then y'all will wait for my bleep signal as communicated to young Metric here. And then you will proceed to plant these C4 explosives along the sides of the nightclub here and blow it to the ground. Now, there's a few things that can happen here. One, we might get a visit from some of our some acquaintances that we've met before, namely a large angry robot and a samurai woman. But Metric will have his robot app looking in the skies above for any unwanted intruders.
Seems reasonable.
Meanwhile, brain fog?
Yeah.
Yes, brain fog and his lackeys will be rounding up any passerbys, of which there should be minimal at this early hour, and rewriting their memory to say that they saw a giant robot in the vicinity, that destroyed this here building unprovoked, and also explain away any other sort of situations that might occur along the course of this venture.
Fuck yeah. Is it cool that like only one of my dudes is here? Because my other dude's busy.
We got other
Matt,
dudes.
which was the one that I sent last time? I don't remember. Did I send
You sent
Eric?
Eric.
I sent Eric. Okay.
Yeah, you sent Eric.
Okay.
Yeah, Justin is he's hanging back with the other thugs in the alleyway and like trying to look tough and like he belongs there, even though he's like 17 years old.
That's because he fucking does, man.
Okay.
Yo, Justin.
Right.
I just give him like a head nod thing. You know, like that
Okay.
thing that people do.
He does it back, but he does it like way too emphatically.
Jesus.
Flicker folds his arms and he goes, "Who you taking in the desert with you?"
Well, while y'all are doing this, Negative and I are gonna drive out to the desert with our hostage Grail, and just us. Then.
Which one's negative?
Negative's the one who can like phase into an alternate dimension with people.
Yeah, he's standing here. He has a black and white costume, and he's kind of like folded in on himself and not saying anything. And he just kind of nods when you say that because he's already been appraised of this plan.
Now, one other thing I want to point out here, Metric, you're going to be on surveillance here. I want you to be keeping an eye on all the streets with app and as far into the building as you can see. If Poke's little dimension expands or contracts or disappears, you let people know. And if anyone else shows up, you take incriminating photographs of them. And you know what? Take some incriminating photographs anyway, and maybe you can use your computer technology to Photoshop in some people.
Oh, alrighty. I can
so-
do all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
But Metric, before you answer too affirmatively, you should know that you've been noticing some glitchiness in about the last hour or so of your watch. You've actually been awake all night, and at first you kind of thought that it was just the gram of caffeine in your bloodstream, or maybe more than that at this point, that was causing like the twitchiness and fuzziness in your vision. But actually, you realize that there is a fuzziness to your headset vision. It's there about 90% of the time, and then sometimes it fades away back to completely normal vision. So you've lost a lot of the resolution that you're used to, except for fits and starts. So, for example, if you wanted to get like a good look at something through a wall, you could probably still do it, but it would probably take longer to kind of wait for the attenuation to go away.
Do I have a sense of where this is coming from? Is it because I haven't like fixed my stuff, or do I think it's like another tinker screwing with me?
Why don't you roll wits?
All right, wits. Wits are. I have to find my. Wits 3.
You have a very strong hunch that it's another tinker screwing with you.
All right. Well, guys, I can do that, but I think someone's screwing with my optics, so I might have to get closer than otherwise.
Well, this might be a good opportunity to remind everyone what we know about the loose cannons and their members. Now, I've already taken the liberty of taking one of their members hostage. You're welcome. But there are a few troublesome individuals that remain. First of all, of course, there's Poke, their leader, who sits inside his little pocket dimension he has complete control over, with our stolen merchandise, for one. We want to be careful. We don't want to get too close to that dimension, because he can do whatever he wants with us if we get in there, which is why we want to destroy the building that the dimension resides in and trap him up in the air so that he can never leave. We also know that they have a tinker by the name of Benghazi, who has a large number of robotic clones of himself, who Metric here can tell the difference between. However, I kind of get the feeling that he might be heading out my way to the desert.
Actually, let me, can I pause? Can I give a look to just the whole accumulated crowd here for just a little second with my visor?
Yeah, go ahead and roll for that.
All right. Rolling. Ooh. What's my modifier on that?
I don't have your character
Wits again?
sheet. Yeah, wits.
Then 6, but not natural 6.
Okay. As you look over the crowd, who are you looking at exactly?
Well, I'm looking for more android-looking things because I remember I saw like the people in the corner that just looked like straight up robots.
Okay.
Through my vision.
So as you kind of maybe take a few steps toward the end of the alley where all of the goons are gathered, the fuzziness in your vision intensifies, and you're having a really hard time seeing what you're used to seeing like you can't really see through them. It's so bad. It's worse than it's ever been, actually.
All right. So I like walk around looking like I'm looking at things, and then I kind of go back over to Rusty and I like whisper in Rusty's ear, "Hey, I'm pretty sure somebody's sabotaging me. There's like definitely a mole in our group or something happening."
Sort of reminds me. Does anyone know who that fella is and all the coats and so forth?
Why are we whispering?
Well, Rusty, I hope that you haven't forgotten about your old friend so quickly.
Oh, snap.
Is it Skip?
Creep. It's Creep. Excuse me.
What? Did he take the...
Oh, well, hey there.
That's fucking badass! Show me your powers, bro!
Oh, well, I hope we get to flex them. I mean, this is basically a trial by fire, fellas.
Flex now, bro!
Well, I'm trying to keep a smile on my face about this, but I don't know if you want to see it right now, honestly.
Fuck yeah, I do!
I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna hold off.
Well, could it be that you're I kind of go up over to him just so I'm not like overheard too much. Would it screw with my powers at all?
I don't think this is very new to me, but I don't think so. I don't have any tinker abilities. I'll tell you that right now.
Do I recognize everyone else as usual members of the?
Well, like the goons, you just like don't really consort with them that much. All the other capes you recognize.
How you doing with this, Rusty? Are you doing okay? Your buddy is a cape now.
Well, it's his decision.
But are you like sad about it? Show some emotion, man.
I mean, I'm pretty happy that he survived it, to be honest.
Wait.
Yeah, me too.
Wait, Skip.
Welcome to the team, Skip.
Well, thanks.
Do you fuck with people's brains, Skip?
Well, I don't think so. I've very little time to test this out. And
Brain bro?
well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't think I am. I don't think I am a brain bro.
Fuck.
His head hangs. You can see under the hood.
Wait.
Or the hood hangs. You know what I mean?
All right.
Skip,
do we want to
Skip, you see all these non-powereds over here?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize all of them?
I recognize about 7 of them. I don't know those 3 guys.
Why do we have people with us that no one recognizes?
I don't know. This is
Who picked these guys?
I don't recognize any of these people.
these are just are you being so quiet that like Helter Skelter, who is sort of like in this circle, can't hear you?
No, I call him over to our little
Okay.
huddle.
Okay.
Helter Skelter, you know all these little guys over here?
I dare say I've met all of them. Perhaps haven't had a good heart-to-heart with each of them.
Well, one of them's screwing with my visor, and I can't, and it's like my vision's all screwy, and I can't see. I need to see them, and I can't see them.
Guys,
Who picked these guys? Did you recruit them?
I got a plan.
Well, most of them have worked with us for some time. I essentially called in the muscle. You know how it goes. I don't individually vet them. I'm not
Well, who the hell did individually
While
vet 'em?
y'all are talking, I walk over to the group of non-powereds and I go, all right, everybody who's not betraying us, stand over there. And then I look back at the group and be like, yeah, huh?
they all look really disturbed, and then they all walk over to where you pointed.
All right, I go walk
We're
over
good.
to Billy, and I'm like, all right, now single file, you guys stand over there, and then I walk like 30 feet away and walk towards and past me one at a time, just one at a time.
Okay, they do that.
Guys, you better listen to the nerd. He's kind of weird.
So as like the 5th one passes you, the intensity of your fuzziness increases.
All right, I turn off my vision and I'd watch that one really closely as they pass.
Okay.
Are they acting weird at all?
No, I mean, maybe you can roll social. I would say off the top of my head, no.
All right, I turn my vision back on and I let everyone else pass me.
Okay.
As well.
Like the last 2 also sort of cause the fuzziness to spike.
Ah, interesting. All right, I go back over to Rusty and I like wave Billy over.
Okay.
What's up?
All right, so I'm pretty sure I know which ones are screwing with my visor, but I don't know if they know because it seems like they don't seem guilty, but like I'm pretty sure it's them.
Alrighty. Well, you come over here with me.
So that they all look really kind of mildly surprised, but they come over without making a big deal of it.
All right, Metric, you inspect him real close now.
All right, I do that again.
Well, one of them goes, "Hey, Helter Skelter, what's this about? You know me. We've worked together. I mean, I don't think anybody put anything on me." You know me. I'm John. We've known each other for 5 years.
Who said anything about putting anything on someone? It's this guy.
That's an excellent point, young brain fog. All right.
I walk up to him and like grab him by the collar and be like, "Who's your boss?"
Okay. Let's say you notice that, like, as you grab him with the intent of like pulling him towards you roughly, you kind of feel like you grabbed like a refrigerator and tried to pull it towards you roughly in the sense of like how much give you feel.
This guy's a refrigerator.
How close are we to this to the hideout?
To the Jackdaw Sphinx?
Yeah.
You're like 2 or 3 alleys over.
Why are we so fucking close? God damn it. All right. I feel like my shotgun's gonna make too much noise.
He's a fucking refrigerator. Just unplug him.
Well,
Man, I really wish my power could like look around in their memory instead of just fuck with it, but it can't.
Well, I mean, they're probably robots, right? Like, it's definitely Benghazi robots.
are the other ones also
Are
robots?
we really sticking with the Benghazi name? Is that just we're gonna?
We are. It's happening.
The other ones just look a little bit perturbed that you've grabbed him.
There's one way to
they're
test
not.
if it's a robot. If I can fuck
Well-
with his brain, it's not.
Yeah, you can do that, or you can just see if they feel like refrigerators again.
Okay. I'm gonna roll for seeing if it feels like a refrigerator. What's that?
Okay. That's plus social.
6.
Yeah. The other 2, they also kind of like freak out as you grab them, but they don't really fight back.
Are they refrigerators?
Yeah, they both seem super heavy.
All right, Metric, can you like shock them or something? Shut them down.
I don't think so, but
The other guys can hear you, right?
All right, God damn it.
So
I just shoot him in the head with my shotgun.
Whoa!
okay, so the first one, his head disintegrates into a blast of metal parts, and
Yep.
he collapses. The other two, when that happens, they switch over from acting perturbed and like they're poor innocent guys who are being unfairly accused, and immediately attack.
Okay.
oh geez.
But I think there's so many capes here. I don't know if there's any needing to make this combat, because like the first thing that's going to happen, Helter Skelter kind of lunges forward and he like jams a baton through the next one's neck in a way that just instantly shuts it down. And then the last one, Snooker zaps with a volley of multicolored projectiles, and then he actually levitates off the ground slightly, and then levitates up into the air about 15 feet, and then smashes down at the ground really hard and doesn't move again.
Glad he's on our team.
All right. Well, there goes that.
Yeah.
All right. New plan.
Blow it up.
Yeah, well, I guess y'all better get on over there and kind of wish we hadn't killed one of them now. I kind of want to send a message. Oh, they still got that bleeper, right?
Yeah, they do.
Of course they have the weeper.
Does before I forget, does my vision work again?
Yeah, the fuzziness has resolved.
Thank God. All right.
Well,
All right.
I kind of
We're
see this as an act of bad faith on the part of the hostage exchange.
Helter Skelter says, yes, this certainly does seem to be a poor, starting off on the wrong foot. My suggestion is that my team immediately begins planting the explosives and dealing with any other rascals we find in the area, and you head out into the desert, perhaps with someone in addition to Negative as added muscle, and you deal with whoever arrives there. I think splitting our forces and taking out anyone who shows up would be the best idea. We do outnumber them quite significantly as far as we know, and having exposed this little ruse, I think that we can safely assume that we're not being watched in this moment.
I've got a little idea myself.
I've got muscle.
Go to the street corner and bring me another one of those robot spies that are sitting out there.
But me?
Come with me, Billy. Come on, we go do that.
There's actually
So I'm just
there's
walking
actually-
up to Randos on the street and being like, "Which one of you motherfuckers is a refrigerator?"
Metric can do. There's not really anyone else on the street because it's like 3:30 a.m.
You don't actually find any of them.
Interesting. They're all gone. They're gone.
What? Did you say they're God?
Okay.
They're gone, Billy. Jesus.
Jesus?
What's next? What's next?
Let's all go have a look and see if anyone's outside of the alley getting ready for us now, or around the nightclub.
Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna like all kind of sneak up like we were gonna do
It's
anyway.
just the
All
three
right.
of us.
So
Negative. No, we're gonna bring everyone,
Like the whole,
Yeah, so-
like all 20
and
of them?
I'm also bringing Grail tied up,
oh, okay. She's with you. Okay. So
and she's blindfolded and everything, so she's not gonna. And her hands are like she's actually in like a straitjacket, so she can't like touch it and be annoying.
okay. So all right. So the there's you can approach from the front, but the front door actually leads down into the basement, and then the back door is kind of the business entrance, and that leads onto the first floor. So since you're trying to look into the building with
Well,
metrics,
first we're just seeing if there's anyone outside.
okay, there's no one outside. You see, okay, so metric. Here's what's going on with you. You were watching the area all night long, and all night long you saw no real cape activity. You saw the top floor continued to be like this completely blank, like black hole in your vision. Now you've taken your attention off of it for a while because you've been chatting with these guys. Now you look at it again, and it shocks you slightly to realize that not only is the building empty, but the top floor is just a normal top floor of a building.
It's they did something. It's normal. Poke's not here anymore.
Well, maybe he is going to the desert.
What the fuck is going on?
But metric, the longer you look at it, you see that there are two briefcases sitting on a table in the office on the second floor.
But there's briefcases in there, but that really just seems like a trap when you think about it. But there's definitely briefcases in there.
I got it. I go gas mode.
Oh. Brain fog? I'm not sure that's a great idea.
Why not?
Well, I guess if there's no pocket dimension.
Yeah.
Go for
Do
it.
I see any people in there? I mean, I don't know Poke is not there. I just don't see his dimension warping.
There's nothing screwing with your vision or anything in there?
Well, that's a good question. Maybe. Well, I don't see the pocket dimension on the top floor, and do I see people in there at all?
No.
No, it's an empty building.
I'm climbing the side of the building.
App, can you also give it a look? I'm not trusting my visor here.
Oh yeah, I'm App. Yes, sir. I confirm your impression. The building appears to be vacant. No one asked me, sir, but I was keeping an eye on it this entire time.
Oh, App, great. What happened while we were messing with the robots down here?
The third floor simply ceased to be a pocket dimension. It became normal. A man appeared in the middle of it. He then walked downstairs and disappeared.
Well, where downstairs did he disappear?
The second floor.
He just like was there and then he wasn't there anymore?
Yes, the readings are inconclusive. He vanished. It was clearly a power of some kind.
Was there?
I will need.
Could you detect any changes in air pressure or temperature or anything strange like that around the point that he disappeared?
There were no anomalies. Frankly, sir, it is not within my abilities to perform an advanced analysis on this kind of data.
That's fine. That's fine. Good job. All right. Well, everyone, it seems like Pope teleported or some nonsense while we weren't paying attention.
I'm going in.
All right, you go in, brain fog, and tell us what's going on.
Okay.
Do I find like a vent or something?
Yeah. So are you trying to go up the side and then into the second floor?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, you find I guess a vent. Yeah, like an AC vent, and you get inside, and you basically you're just in a hallway, and there's like offices off to the sides, and you just you're not really sure where exactly to go.
So I've gone back solid form at this point.
Okay.
And I'm weeping. I'm like, all right, hallway. It's
Okay.
empty. These are my bleeps.
Okay.
All right. Metric, tell him to check out that briefcase real careful, like.
All right. Sent.
All right, check it out the briefcase. Okay.
Okay. So do you go to do you find the room with the briefcase?
Yes.
Okay. So as you enter that room, it suddenly is pitch dark.
Pitch dark as in.
And as in you see nothing.
Okay.
Outside Metric, you see a ripple, and the second floor in your vision is now a pocket dimension.
All right, Pope. He was totally still there. Now he's back. Poke is on the second floor again.
Billy,
Sir.
you nothing happens for a few moments.
The first thing I do is go gas.
Okay. But you now see a roughly cubic region of space in front of you light up with an indistinct fuzz, almost like TV static, but three-dimensional. And as you watch, since there's nothing else to look at, you begin to see shapes resolve themselves. And what you're looking at is a large man in an orange prison jumpsuit sitting in a tiny, tiny cell, leaning against the wall. His back is to you.
Does this guy look different than the guy that was in the pocket dimension last time I was there? Because I met that other guy.
You met him. You didn't see his. He was wearing a mask then, and you can't see his face now because he's turned away from you in this image. But physically, it's pretty evident that he's the same guy because he's like a really big, kind of stocky guy.
What's up, bro? We meet again.
He doesn't react at all. There's a thin pallet on the floor, and there's a toilet, but essentially there's nothing else in this cell. And the man is bouncing a tennis ball off the far wall with an ease that suggests that he's been doing this for a really long time. And you realize you can hear the bounce of the tennis ball, just pop, pop, pop. And then there's a clang as the cell door at the end of this tiny cell unlocks, and you see two figures hazily beyond it as the door opens. A prison guard and a man in a suit with a mask. And the guard says, 5 minutes. And then the other voice says, that'll be fine, Rick. You're a good man. And the second voice enters the cell. He's a man of below average height, wearing a fine suit and a mask quartered to show what seem to be 4 archaic card suits, reminiscent of the modern ones, but not quite the same. And instead of a pocket square, he has the edge of a king of clubs poking out of his jacket pocket. And he kind of tugs on his cuffs as he enters and surveys the miserably small room. And the prisoner gets to his feet and says, Boss, I can't believe you're here in person. Well, you've earned it. And I'm sorry about this. It's been rough having my right-hand man locked up all this time. Oh, they've had me in here for 2 months, boss. 2 months in solitary. I don't even think that's legal. I'm going out of my mind here. And we appreciate your sacrifice. You acquired valuable information for the High Rollers, and you also put down one of our most persistent enemies. Oh, I don't mean to ask for too much, Pit Boss, but are you here to get me out of here? I really, really wish I could say that I was, but instead I suppose I have to offer you a kind of apology. You were instructed to kill Hoggerty without any cameras seeing you. Witnesses fine, probably unavoidable in prison, but no cameras. That was specified. If you had followed that order, then the damage would be contained. I could get you out easily. But you fucked up. Boss, I swear I didn't see any cameras. Now you've created a big problem for me because you're connected to me and you've provably murdered one of our enemies, so there's really nothing I can do for you. In fact, and he turns his back and starts walking for the exit, and he raps on the door and it's opened. I'm afraid you pose too great a risk at this point in time. Boss, Rick, please keep him in here for another 2 months for his own protection. And with that, Pit Boss leaves the cell of this memory and the door slams behind him. And you hear Poke shouting, No, boss, goddamn you, Pit Boss, and slamming his fist on the door. And the image that you're seeing brightens and throbs and strains and then cracks, and the frame, the volume that you're seeing fills with incomprehensible shapes that seem vaguely familiar to you. But then before you can make anything of it, it goes blank.
I feel like
And then the light...
I just saw some really important stuff, and I am definitely not the one that should have seen all that.
Before you can really cogitate too much about this, the lights turn on in the room again, and it's just a normal room. Everything looks exactly the same as it did before, but there's no briefcases on the table.
And I guess he's gone too.
Well, you don't see him.
Okay.
As you're hesitating, the chairs in the office unfold and stand up. Their metal frames elongating and bending eerily to approximate forms with arms and legs, and the desks bend and fold like the spreading wings of raptors, and the filing cabinets fall on their faces and begin to crawl towards you like millipedes. What do you do?
Run.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm gonna run.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna go back through that vent that I came out of.
Okay.
And jump down in gas form while mind screaming into my into my friends' heads.
Do I see any like electronics in these things, or are they just doing their thing?
They're just, it just looks like magic to you, since you can kind of see it now.
Yeah, all right.
Am I able to get out, or are they coming to help me?
You're able to get out, but on the street outside, there begins to be a commotion at the ends of the alley.
What is it?
Down the alley that you came, you see a bunch of what appear to just be unpowered thugs. Behind them, a couple people in costume heading down the alley towards you.
Do we see him too?
Yeah. You see them first, if anything, because this happens roughly at the time that Poke releases the vision from Billy.
Okay. So did App see them approach from anywhere, or did they appear magically from like portaliness?
App. So that's an interesting point. Yeah, they actually spilled out of the second floor as if by magic. They like came down the stairs from the second floor and materialized. Okay, they were on the second floor. You just couldn't see them.
All right.
And then they came out the front door, and then they ran around the building.
Gotcha.
Okay. And do we recognize the two capes?
You recognize... so I'm just going to give this one to you, despite the fact that his costume looks exactly like many of the other costumes in the alleyway. You recognize Mook. And then there are two others you don't recognize. And you did not see Fugazi, and you did not see Poke.
So Mook was one of the ones we fought that one night.
Yeah.
And we don't recognize the other one.
And you don't see Vector either.
We don't see Vector. All right. So the one over there, that's Mook. He's good at getting out of situations no one else can. I'm guessing that other one is Cannon. So expect some sort of cannon-based powers, I guess.
All right. So what's gonna happen?
All right. I shout. I'm guessing the whole hostage exchange situation has been canceled.
I think, yeah. So Mook actually holds up, and he says, "Look, Pope doesn't give a shit about the hostage you got there, but you might want to hold off because there's someone else who wants to talk to you. He's not here right now, though."
Well, where is he?
Well,
on his way to the desert?
He happens to be on his way to the desert, which is seeming like a bit of a fucked up situation in this exact moment. But yeah, he was going to meet you in the desert.
Huh. Well,
and he didn't leave from here because, frankly, he's not affiliated with the Loose Cannons anymore. But he does. Let me put it this way: he wants to make peace with you, and he has something to give you. We have no fucking interest in that. And with that, he kind of cracks his knuckles and like hefts a club.
So, you're not gonna give back that whole thing you stole, then?
We don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Oh. Well,
This is a cluster.
that's too bad, I guess. Or do we like how many goons are there?
They have. You don't actually outnumber them. No, sorry. You do actually outnumber them. They have like, because you now have only 7 thugs. They have 7 thugs, and then there's only 3 capes on their side, and you have more capes.
Oh, 3 capes.
Yeah, there were 2 that you didn't recognize.
2 that I didn't recognize. Okay. All right. So there's a 3rd one. All right. Well, I guess just fuck him up, guys.
Billy screams,
Right.
"It's morphin' time!" And I take off running towards Justin, and then at the last second I turn into gas, and like you see it hit Justin, and kind of like he like is kind of rocked back a little bit, and then he looks at the main head of capes on the other side and says, "You killed my friend, you son of a bitch!" And then he runs toward him.
Oh my god. Awesome. So like as this is evolving at this point, like a tick of combat has passed, and the mooks, the well, I can't use that word. The unarmed or the unpowered folks have already started clashing in the middle between the 2 groups of capes. Well, here goes nothing. Creep. He kind of starts to like tense and spasm, and then he leans forward as if he's in pain, and 3 long, slimy, drippy, gray-green globules just kind of glorp out of his sleeves and his hood, 1 out of each sleeve and 1 out of his face. And the slime-covered blobs hit the ground, and they swell a bit, and then they kind of like flex and split. And now lying on the pavement are 3 greenish, scaly, malformed creatures, each about 3 feet in height, as they rise to their severely hunched stances and look around and snarl. And Creep says, "Attack!" And with what appears to be glee, the 3 creatures lunge toward the melee. You see one of them snatch up a dropped knife from the ground before scurrying into the fight.
You guys might want to back up Justin. Something's gotten into him. It was me.
Right. All right. App, can you hit one of these guys with a harpoon or something? I think we got this mostly under control, right?
So actually, what happened? What you see happening is their unpowered guys seem to be mopping the floor with your unpowered guys, and this is happening really quickly to the point where you're suddenly alert to the fact that you might be facing these capes and all of their goons with all of your unpowered's already taken out within seconds.
Oh, are these robots again? Are these? I look at them with my visor.
They're not.
Oh, they just know how to fight. All right, there's some shenanigans here, guys. What are we doing?
Helter Skelter says, I have an intuition that there's some kind of thinker power at work here that's amplifying their abilities.
All right, what do we do with that? I look at the heroes. They're not the heroes. The other capes on the other team, and just kind of give them hard looks.
At their guys.
Yeah.
Negative says, I could get us out of here. I mean, I don't have any particular dog in this fight. If it looks like it's going to be close, I think we could just get out of here. I kind of want to get out of here, guys. This isn't really my thing. I'm the guy who slips away, you know?
Yeah, I kind of lost interest in this whole venture, actually.
Don't we have a bunch of C4?
Yeah. What do you want to do with it?
I mean, we could do the old stop or we blow up the C4 thing, and I could just have App ferry it over there.
I want to remind you guys that Justin is charging headlong into the group of bad guys, and I'm right behind
Yep.
you.
Yeah.
While this is happening, Helter Skelter has also started walking toward them, and he's like doing the thing where he makes like calculated like pressure point strikes and like fells guys right and left. So he's actually, now that he's fighting, it's making a difference. And also Snooker has started like pelting the crowd with his blasts, and so people are gradually like being pulled off their feet and stuff. So now that the capes have entered the fight, the tide is equalizing a bit more.
Can we like Justin's doing a great job, right? Like, let's just.
Yeah, Justin is fighting with like a berserker fury.
Yeah, there we go.
That it's clear that he's just, in his mind, he's just lost everything. And if anything, he looks like he might have cracked. And he's he's willing to die now.
Yeah, it's meant to do that. But I'm like, you can't really see it because I'm invisible when I'm in this form, but I'm in this form fighting like next to him. And so every time he goes up to a new guy to fight, like I'll hit them first and then they'll be in like a daze for a second.
Okay.
And then he smacks them. And then that's just kind of how we're rolling around the battlefield, is like we approach a new guy and we're just fighting unpowered right now.
Yeah, that's good. So you actually notice, like, you're kind of watching his back, and you see one of these guys raises what is clearly like a tinker weapon. He just looks, he doesn't look like a tinker or anything, but he's holding like a tinker weapon, and he's pointing it at Justin's back. You have a chance to try to do something about it.
I'm gonna confundle him.
Okay.
Got a 3.
Okay. Yeah, he hesitates long enough, and that gives maybe like 2 seconds of extra time.
Okay. And I'm like, I just mind meld Justin to duck.
Okay. He ducks, and the weapon fires like a lightning bolt, which strikes the guy who was standing on the other side of Justin.
I don't know how, Matt, I don't know how far I want to push this. Because like I want to push this really far, basically. Like I want to the point where you could argue that like I'm beginning to manipulate him to the point where I'm not totally controlling his movements, but not controlling his movements.
Okay, that's fine. We can go farther with that. It's difficult for me to see how you could make a memory in his head that would make him duck.
Yeah. So. I don't like. I'm trying to think, like, it's obviously not actual muscle control or anything like that. So I don't want it to be like I'm actually like just like inhabiting him. That's too far beyond. But whatever we can get up to the point of doing that, that's what I'm doing now. We're like,
I kind of feel like you're making suggestions, and his willpower is so eroded that he just does them.
Yeah, I kind of like that. Like,
okay,
like I mean, like if you implant a memory of like wrecking ball swinging at your head, then duck would be.
That's a good point.
So
I can see you thought this through.
A little bit. So that's what I want to be going on right now.
Okay. So at this point, like he dodges that one, but there's a few other flashes of light in the crowd that make you realize that more than one of these guys is armed with a tinker weapon, and that's another reason why the battle might be going against you guys. That they're not tinkers, but they have weapons that have weird abilities. Like you feel like a gush of like cold air against all of your faces, as if some kind of like ice bomb has been triggered or something. Like it's very like, now it's become very chaotic. The fighting is very close to you, and you're about to lose the opportunity to get away actually, and have to fight it out. So you kind of need to make the decision.
Help!
All right, let's retreat, guys.
Help!
Okay, as you turn to retreat, behind you, you hear Skip's voice say, "Rusty, help!" And he falls to a knee, and you see there's a blade sticking out of his side of his jacket.
Oh no! That's what you get, Rusty, for retreating.
Was anyone? Let's see. Everyone roll wits. I want to see if anyone saw what happened.
2.
Nat 6, baby.
I got a 4.
Okay, so, well, yeah, I think that. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, so actually, the only person who saw it, miraculously, considering that he's like fighting in the middle of the melee, actually it kind of makes more sense, because what you saw happen was, considering you got a nat 6, Helter Skelter glanced over his shoulder and saw that you guys were going to flee, and kind of in the middle of a different motion that he was making to strike someone, he flicked out a throwing knife behind him, which struck your friend in the side.
But I didn't see that.
You didn't see that, and you don't know that yet, and Billy can't. I don't think Billy can technically tell you that from how far away he is.
My telecommunication while in this form it's pretty close range, so no, I cannot.
Yeah.
But don't you worry, I saw it.
I go over to help Skip up. I don't feel like I really have time to heal him in this scenario. I'm gonna like extract first and then
Okay.
try to heal him, unless it looks like he's like literally dying out right now.
Are you gonna tell me that you're leaving?
I did sound the retreat.
I mean, I was busy.
Oh, I shouted it. Does everyone look like they're retreating?
There seems to be some confusion. The struggle is still ongoing. Negative is very eager to retreat, and he's actually kind of like holding his hands out for you, like come on, because it's obvious that like he needs to touch you to phase you out, and that's kind of how he would prefer to do it. Although you don't have to do it that way if you don't want to.
I yell in frustration, and like I try to use my fog on all the bad guys around me at the same time. It's probably not going to work, but just like a turnaround, just like a back off with just enough time for me. And
all right, let's say there's 6. Let's say there's 6. Let's say that you're close enough to influence 6 of them, which is most of them. So see how successful you are with, like, just I guess roll 6 times and tell me which rolls are decent.
The first 3 were not good. I succeeded on one of them.
Okay, that guy backs off, and seems hesitant and frightened.
And then
actually, go ahead.
Well, I'm like doing the same thing to Justin, but to back off our way.
So now that you're intending to back off, I want you to roll wits to see if you notice something.
2.
So you don't notice anything, but because the mob is like close enough to, I think Metric, where are you standing?
I'm like standing back a little bit. I'm thinking about making a play with App and its grappling hooks if necessary, if like we can't quite extract from here. But
okay, Why don't you also roll wits?
All right.
I think Rusty's far enough away that he probably is exempt from this.
I got a 4.
Okay, you feel like a really overwhelming urge to just like jump in there and just start punching people and like biting, and like it's just a really powerful urge, and your success at your roll allows you to actually notice this fact.
There's some mind scurriness happening. It's making people want to fight in there. I get apt to shoot a harpoon at, I guess, Justin and maybe also Helter Skelter to try and pull them out.
Okay.
I don't even know how the rolls work for my harpoons.
I think that last time, or not last time, but a previous time, we kind of decided that those were attacks.
All right.
So you roll them using his stats as if they're attacks.
So this thing is working on me too, though, right? This urge to brawl.
Yeah. So I guess it doesn't. I guess I can just tell you, like, if basically Daniel's fixing to have to roll to resist that urge, you're already brawling, so it doesn't. If you tried to resist it, then you would have to roll to exit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
basically.
just saying it would make sense for me to drop out of form if I have the urge to actually brawl.
That's true. So you're actually you have to roll to resist the urge to drop out of your form so you can brawl.
Okay.
So yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
What kind? Well, it doesn't matter. It was a 1, so.
Yeah, but the guy who you were countering against also rolled a 1. What's your?
In my
I think you
opinion, I fail and drop out,
Okay.
and it just
Okay.
a dude just punching people.
Okay.
So I'm standing next to Justin,
Okay.
and he's kind of got the urge to run away because of me, but I'm still there. Now vulnerable and punching people.
Okay. Is he also shocked because didn't he think you were dead, or is that not what you did to him exactly?
I made him think someone else, not me. I made him think Eric
someone
was
else.
dead.
Okay. So Daniel, you roll your attacks for app, and then after that, you're gonna roll to see if you succeed in resisting the urge.
All right, I got a 5 and a 6 on those. I got a 5 and a 6 on my attacks, and a 5 on the resist urge.
Okay. I think that those are all good. I have to roll the resist urge. Nope, you fail that.
Oh, great.
So he yanks out Helter and Justin, but then he charges in himself.
Yes.
Awesome.
And Helter and Justin now have to roll. Actually, no, they're out of range now because App was far enough back, so they're out of range of the effect now. Yeah. So you're known for your melee skills, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I do have +1 athletics, so
Yeah,
I get over there really fast.
You're probably on the kendo team or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Ah!
So at this point in the fight, due to what appears to be like preternatural abilities on behalf of the guys you're fighting, and the fact that everyone is sort of in berserker mode, you're down to like Chad, Justin, Billy, and like one other unpowered guy are left against 3 of their unpowered guys, and then the 2, actually all 3 of the capes kind of are making their way in, including Mook. Mook like somehow is the most unscathed person in the fight. You can't help but notice. Okay, so that's
he's a bad guy, right?
He's a bad guy.
So he's probably the one doing this bullshit.
I think it's like Rusty's turn by now, right? Or is it?
Yeah, Rusty should.
I guess realizing that we're not going to be able to retreat, I'm going to just go ahead and try to heal Skip.
Okay. All right. Okay, yeah. So you roll a d6 and it determines how successful the healing is.
5. So I put my hand down on his wound, and like the green mold closes over it, and then I'm just like, "You all right there, buddy?"
Okay, so because of the 5 basically gives you like one rank of healing. So that was like a really bad wound. It would have been, categorized as like a critical wound that would have made him, start dying basically. But because of the healing, it's now just like a moderate wound. The blade kind of like is pushed out as you do this. You didn't even have to pull it out. And he's kind of doubled over and still obviously in pain. And you can't really see anything because the clothing is covering it, but it seems like there's like some lumpiness to the tissue there. And he says, yeah, oh, thanks, man. I don't think I'm doing too hot, but I think I'll make it. Oh, that always sucks, man. Every time you use that on me.
So he's kind of like incapacitated right now, or is like little slime still fighting?
His little slimes are still fighting. They're like, one of them has been like squashed. The other one has like one of its legs is crushed, but it's still fighting as if it doesn't notice. And the third one is still fighting.
All right. And I've still got Grail. All right. I kind of like sit down, look kind of depressed. And take off Grail's mask. And I'm like, well, I suppose you heard all that about them not really caring what happens to you.
Yes. Well, I also heard the part about Fugazi going in the desert to retrieve me. So
yeah, well, that was mighty swell of him. Still, this whole thing, it capes fighting capes and so forth. It's enough to put a fella down in the dumps.
In the background, I'm just screaming in berserker rage still as you're just chatting.
She's kind of taken aback, and she's like, "They're there."
I'm like, look, I don't really see the need for you to be here anymore, and it kind of makes me sad that none of these people care about you. So I cut her rope. I'm just like, you go find Fugazi and, you get yourselves married, get yourself a nice house somewhere, save up some money, live an honest life.
She like blinks and looks down at her hands, and she's like, I'm ashamed to admit I've already cut my way out of these bonds, but thank you. And then she just kind of trails off, and then she just says, "Thank you," and then she just turns and runs out of the alley the other direction.
I kind of half-heartedly wave and then sigh.
You are the most confusing human being ever.
Okay.
So does App see me like just running in to fight, and is he like also deciding to be violent now?
Sir,
or is he, like, helping?
Are we doing this, sir? Please say yes.
Do I resist?
I don't think I think you're too. I guess it would make sense for you to have to like roll every turn of combat. I'm not really respecting turns of combat right now because there's like 100 people here.
I feel like I should get a penalty because I'm feeling the full weight of canine death in the world or something.
Yeah, you should definitely get a -1, but you should roll to resist it again.
All right. 3.
You fail to resist it again.
All right.
Scott, you should also roll to resist it.
Okay.
I feel like that's
I got a 6.
that gives. I feel like App should just get in there and then.
And he did, yeah. So Scott, you succeeded real hard. It hits you how crazy that you've been behaving, and that you would like you know better than to do this. And I'm actually gonna. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna roll for Justin because you actually have to realize that something is going on in order to roll against it.
I pulled Justin out.
Oh yeah, you pulled Justin and Helter Skelter out.
Yeah,
and they're like hanging back next to Rusty, I guess, and they're kind of like shaking their heads, and I don't know. I guess Helter Skelter says, "Yeah, there's some kind of mental effect in there. It's difficult to extract yourself once you're embedded in it."
What, can I just
run
away?
Sometimes I wonder if we're all under some sort of mental effect.
You need to get over your bummer mood.
Rusty, I believe we appear to be losing this here kerfuffle. Would you? I realize that we do sort of lose control once we're in there, but would you rejoin us? I think we're about to be making a hot retreat. In fact, I don't know. Shall we just cut loose? I don't. Are you terribly invested in those two? And he points at Metric and Billy, because you've only just met them, and frankly, I'm not entirely convinced it would be much of a loss if we just and he kind of like does the pointing his thumb back over his shoulder gesture.
Please wait for me.
I'm
Well-
just like incoherently crying and screaming in the background.
Well, that's a good point, Helter Skelter, but, well, I kind of like him.
So I'm going to do a thing, and I apologize, Metric. You're not listening to reason, and I have fixed myself. So I'm going to try to make Metric retreat.
Okay.
I got a 4. I
Okay.
think that's partially successful.
Okay.
Do I roll against that?
I don't think you do. No.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Just you don't. It's successful enough to give him a short memory of something. So decide what that should be.
It's just going to be like someone back home is trying to steal your Tinker gear.
Someone's trying to. Who would want to steal my Tinker gear?
You're focusing on the wrong parts of the memory.
I shake my head and I'm like, where? App, get me out of here. App, come on, let's get out of here.
I guess App grabs you and he pulls you out with the others.
And I can't run in this form, but I'm certainly not going back to human right now. So I'm just kind of slowly strolling out of the melee.
Okay. Justin is still fighting. I assume.
I
pulled
thought
him
he
out.
was
I
out.
pulled him out.
Oh, he's pulled out. Yeah, sorry. You're right.
He's just kind of standing there.
Snooker was already like hanging back and firing blasts. I don't think he was involved.
So they should be like coming towards us now. Is what I'm gathering.
Yeah. So now I guess is the time to actually run.
All right, we're going to run.
Okay, and they're chasing you.
We're going to run past the car that I was going to drive to the desert in.
Okay.
Just to rub salt in that wound.
Okay, as you are reaching the mouth of the alley, it seems like they might catch up with you. You might have to re-enter the fight, but instead, you hear a voice that says, "Oh, I'm sorry. Is this the way to the lavatory? I seem to have lost my way. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Lickspittle, and I'm selling magazines door to door. Would you be interested?" And you guys all feel this overwhelming wave of annoyance pass over you, but you keep running, and the guys who are chasing you are like, "Oh man, get the fuck out of here! Get out of here!" And they just and they like back off.
That's amazing.
And I guess you get away. So there's still a guy driving into the desert with something that you want.
Yeah, but I already let his girlfriend
Yeah, but we
go.
should probably go. We gotta go figure out what that is.
I'm sitting in like a booth at the 8-Ball where you
So
ran
wait,
to. I'm just like,
we've jumped in time.
I thought we got away.
Yeah, you got away. I mean, let's say you got to the cars, and I mean, if you want to make a decision, let's say you got to the cars, and you could go back to the 8-Ball, or you could start driving to the desert.
I feel like he wouldn't just wait there once he found out that no one was there.
I mean, it's only been like 20 minutes since you would have left anyway. So
I just kind of like slump in the car seat and just like, whatever you guys want to do.
All right, let's go to the desert.
All right, well, we should go to the desert, and I think it should just be the three of us. And I like look at Helter Skelter out of the corner of my eye.
okay, Helter Skelter.
Untrustworthily.
Helter Skelter says, "Are you sure? I would suggest you at least bring Negative along with you. He can probably assist in. It could be a trap after all. I mean, we got out of this one.
We'll be
fellas.
fine. You take the rest back to the 8-Ball.
Are we sure we don't want a little backup?
No.
No backup art. All right. As long as I get the harvest.
Is Skip okay? Am I able to heal him a second time? How does my power work?
You can only, like a given wound, you can only heal once. So you could you can stabilize someone who's doing really poorly, or you can more or less completely heal something that's minor. But basically,
Gotcha.
the current wound already has like the matrix of your healing materials applied to it. So
I leave him with the others to go back to the 8-ball then.
Okay.
Satisfied that he'll survive.
okay. He says, "Thanks, Rusty. That wasn't a shining example of my best performance, but I did get to use this new power mine, and it's a
It
thing."
was fucking awesome, dude.
Well, thank you there, Billy. Appreciate that.
Yep.
Okay,
Well,
so they head off, I
And
guess.
the four of us.
And
Justin's with us.
leaving the four of you. I think those of you who participated in the brawl are like, first of all, you've been awake for like 27 hours, and you're very bruised and exhausted.
So are you telling us we took a health or something? A wound?
Yeah, let's give you. Let's say no. Well, yeah, you all have a minor wound. Definitely, you all have a minor wound. Just from the exertion and getting probably bashed a few times that you may or may not even remember happening.
Okay.
So now you're there and you can have conversations that might need to be had.
So, okay. The first thing I do is I say, hey, Tex,
yeah, brain
we're going to have
fog.
a fucking problem.
What's the
You remember
problem?
that knife that hit Skip?
Yeah, I
You want to
remember.
know
it.
where that came from?
Where'd
Your
it
boy
come
Helter Skelter.
from? My eyes kind of go hard. I see.
Yeah.
But wasn't it like we were kind of in a mind-altering berserk haze when he did that?
Nah, not then.
Did y'all feel compelled to beat each other up?
Nope.
Did we? I don't actually.
No, you just wanted to fight, but you didn't. You definitely wanted to only fight the guys you were fighting.
All right.
Basically, it just amped up your level of like agitation and anger and rage. It didn't make you like insane.
Look, buddy, I know you've been working for these people for a long time, but seems like they're ready to sell us out just like their group, that other group sold out their people. I think
Well,
it's time for the Brain Bros to go solo.
Billy, I think you might be right.
So I say we get whatever this shit is that we're going to get from Benghazi or whatever, and we use it to start off on our own.
All right, let me think about it on the way.
Plus, I mean, look, we lost, I guess, but we did pretty awesome. I mean, my boy Justin over there, right, Justin? And he doesn't respond at all.
Yeah.
Justin? Justin, what's going on? And I'm like smacking him, and he's just kind of sitting in the seat. I guess he's just worn out, guys. But there's like, you can see like a trace of worry in my eyes. Like this is not normal.
Okay.
That was me setting a scene.
Yes. Okay.
Just in case you guys were curious.
So just as the. So are you going to go into the desert or what?
Yeah. I thought
Okay.
we were in the car on the way
Yes.
there. and
Yeah,
I
so
thought
you're on the
this
way
was-
into the
this was
desert.
the conversations on the
Okay.
way.
All right. Yeah. Sorry. I gotcha.
I'm just like sitting there in silence, like thinking really hard and like unable to speak because I'm like trying to figure out what's going on.
And Billy doesn't mention the memory he was shown, I guess.
Oh yeah, I guess I do that. But
Okay.
I can't just pretend like I did that.
Okay. If that, I would enjoy hearing Billy try to tell a story though.
So like there was this dude and he was in prison, but like he said that he was the second in command to the other dude, but he was supposed to kill some dude, but then
Billy, I'm trying to think. I think we could just have some quiet on the way to the desert.
but because it felt really important.
Billy, goddamn it, shut up for a second.
It felt really important.
Billy, it's just another time maybe.
A dude named Pit Boss is imprisoning that dude named Poke because he was supposed to kill some guy, but he got caught on camera while he was doing it. Does that
Pit
make any
Boss
sense to
is-
y'all?
Pit Boss is dead, Billy.
Yeah, it was like a vision.
Wait,
or a
you're
memory.
saying Poke was in prison. That because his power. It's thematic. His power. Billy, you're a genius.
I know.
No,
Wait, but
Rusty,
why?
this is important. I think we're getting screwed.
Well, why don't you go ahead and explain yourself, Metric?
All right, so yeah, the Poke, he used to work. He probably Snake Eyes must know that Poke used to work for Pit Boss, right? That has to be the case. Actually, you've been around forever. Do you know that? Did you ever see Poke working? Do you know anything about Poke's history?
Do I know anything about Poke's history?
You just not really. You know that he just came onto the scene within the last year or so. And by the way, you've never actually heard Poke speak, so you've never heard his voice.
All I know about him is he showed up sometime during the last year. Started trying to carve out some territory for himself.
Well, he clearly used to work for Pit Boss, so that's like that matters. He used to be on our team, and they got thrown under the bus.
Do I know of anyone who was supposed to kill someone without anyone knowing and then got imprisoned?
Yeah, there was one of the like basically rotating cast of unpowered but like highly promising individuals that Pit Boss brings on and trains up, and then if he likes them enough, he gives them a cauldron vial. At one point, you remember someone meeting that description, basically getting put in prison, probably getting caught and getting put in prison for something, and then being given an assignment to take someone out in prison, and it blowing back on him. But basically, it strikes you as just like a tale of a guy who you had maybe a couple of conversations with, and you didn't really talk to him too much because he wasn't a cape, and you don't remember a lot of details about it, but it rings a bell.
He never played pool with Skip and I or anything. So I always hung out with the lowly people in the.
Then yeah, he probably did play pool with you a few times. You remember him being a big kind of stocky fella.
Would I have considered him a friend?
I mean, Rusty's a pretty easygoing guy. He probably considers anybody who plays pool with him something more than an acquaintance. I don't know.
Well, I think I know who you're talking about. Just another one of those friends who ends up trying to kill you, I guess.
Need you to get out of Debbie Downer mode.
The plot is thickening, guys.
Wait, what's the plot? So wait. So there's this guy who used to be on our side, but now he's on the bad guy's side.
He is the
Are
bad
we
guy.
the bad guys?
Why do we have skulls on our uniforms?
I think we're both the bad guys.
I think we're the baddies.
Well, what are we doing about this? Does this mean, well,
Fuck this
I guess-
shit. I don't want to deal with all these changing sides and teams and fucking. I just want to be on my own.
but this all,
After this, I'm done.
This all predated us a lot. This is all the pit boss. Like, Snake Eyes isn't necessarily like gonna stab us in the back, literally.
Maybe he stabbed Pit Boss in the back.
That's a good point. And they did almost try to stab one of us in the back just now, I guess.
Yeah, like literally.
Well, what do we do about this?
Well, I think we've arrived at the desert.
Yeah.
What are we seeing? What are we seeing at the location?
Okay. So you drive up on the location, and there you see a car, looks like just like some guy's car, and there's a guy like sitting in the driver's seat. The door is open, and like one of his arms is hanging out the door, and he doesn't really react when you drive up.
What's going on, brother?
Are we staying in the car?
I get out of the car.
Okay.
Justin, stay in the car. I say to Justin, who reacts not at all.
As you approach the car, you see that Fugazi is in the driver's seat. His costume is ripped and torn, and the arm that's hanging out of the car is like very badly damaged and bleeding, and there's blood dripping from his fingertips into the dirt, and you actually see a pretty sizable like area of the desert sand that's been soaked with the blood from his arm. And on the passenger seat next to him is a very worn, dirty, damaged, slightly singed black briefcase, a single one. And he looks over at you and coughs and says, "It's been a rough night."
What the hell happened?
And he looks around and sees that that Grail isn't there, and just kind of slumps in on himself a little bit.
Hey, on the bright side, we let your girlfriend go in the middle of the fight for some reason.
He looks at you slightly hopefully, but not sure if he believes you.
Yeah. Well, kind of lost heart the whole situation back there. He's all right. What happened to you though?
Look, I didn't know anything about these briefcases. I assumed Poke had arranged to have them stolen or something. It's the kind of thing he would do. He plays things close to the chest. And maybe the woman in red and the robot did steal these things at Poke's behest. I don't know. But I followed the only lead I had. I have my resources. I have spies. And they serve as muscle if needed. I tracked the woman in red armor back to her hideout. He pats the case. I got away with what I could. She's not doing well. And then he just kind of like with his good arm, he kind of pulls the case over his body and shoves it onto the ground carelessly.
What's in the case?
Some vials of green liquid. I don't know. I don't care. You tell me you let her go. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to survive this.
Bro,
I'm bleeding out here.
Rusty, bro, heal him.
What's the what's going on with his arm again? It's like missing, or
no? It's just like been shattered, and he's just lost a huge amount of blood already.
Well,
like the bones are probably all broken, and like, or, you can't really see through the costume, but it looks like it's been shattered, and he's got like internal hemorrhaging and stuff.
Usually the first time I do this, I make a whole spiel about mold controlling your brain and so forth, but just heart's not in it today. I take out a vial of my broccoli solution to put myself back in the state of mind and do my best to heal his wounds.
Okay. Yeah, let's roll. Let's say you make one roll for his arm, and you're probably going to need another roll for the blood loss. as a separate issue.
Okay, I got a 3 on the arm and a 1 on the blood loss.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
So the arm is like it's visibly encrusted in like a green kind of crawling mat, and the arm is actually like kind of disabled, like he can't really bend it, but it seems like it's going to be fine. The blood loss part, it works, but he's in horrible pain now throughout his entire body, basically. But he'll live.
All right, let's try and.
Well, I think you're going to be all right. Well, guess we'll just take this briefcase and you need a ride back, or?
I think I'd appreciate that, fellas. I don't think I have it in me to drive right now, and
All right, I pick up the briefcase and motion to Metric and Billy. All right, well, why don't y'all help him in the car?
This went exactly as planned.
all right. So you put him in the car, and you have the briefcase, and you're just gonna head back to the where are you gonna head back to?
We got to figure this shit out before we head anywhere. Friends are enemies. Enemies are friends.
Who all have
Well, it's a complicated world.
who all have I given bleepers to? Does Snake Eyes have a bleeper right now?
Poke has one.
Fugazi actually kind of
Fugazi has it.
lifts one and waggles it, and he's like, "Nah, Poke didn't need this. He had no interest in it at all. He wasn't going to talk to you guys. I
Okay.
kept it."
Can we, like, out of character, like, me not pretending to be a moron, like, parse what's going on? just so we can actually, as a team, come up with a decision for what we're going to do.
Okay.
So, the guy that used to lead our group,
Can we do this in character? That's probably more fun.
I mean, we can, but then someone else has to lead it.
You could still try to lead it as a moron. That would be
Yeah, that seems like the best way to do it.
Okay. All right. So, let me get this straight. The guy that used to lead our group, that's dead now, that Poke guy worked for him, and maybe he was one of, like, Rusty's buddies who got powers after working for him through one of those soda cans. But then he screwed up and he got locked away somewhere. And then he ended up on a different team?
I think,
that's about the
Yeah.
gist of it.
and he maybe wants to destroy our team still.
Well, now you hold on just a minute there, Metric, because you using the collective first-person pronoun "our" implies that this is still a part of, that we are still a member of the High Rollers.
Well, that's definitely true, Rusty. I mean, I'm not married to the idea of staying with the High Rollers, but they do have exactly what I need, as long as they don't, kill me or
Look.
us.
Look, guys, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm not just in Vegas to party, get rich, and rob a bunch of people incredibly successfully. I'm here for something, too. If you guys promise me you can help me get it, I don't need no stupid high roller group.
What is it that you want in Vegas, Billy?
I'm looking for somebody, and I hear he's hanging out here. He's a cape, but I don't know his cape name. I know his real name, though. It's Jonathan.
Well, I'm pretty
You got
good
a
at
last name?
I don't remember. Look,
Right.
I sent my boy, Eric, to get some documents for you, and he's going to check it out.
I am pretty good at surveilling. I could probably find all of the Jonathans here, given enough time.
Whoa, there's
Well,
more than
here's
one
the thing,
Jonathan?
fellas. If y'all are wanting to stay in Vegas, then the way I see it, we got three options. If we try to go solo here in Vegas, we're gonna have three powerful enemies after us. We're gonna have the high rollers, we're gonna have the loose cannons, and we're gonna have the protectorate. Not sitting too kindly with the protectorate right now. So we're gonna have to choose a team.
Are we? It sounds like you don't want to work for our old present team anymore.
Well, that's certainly still an option.
I think we need to figure out what's going on between these two teams. Because, like, I don't want to work for the guys that are going to throw knives at me, but I don't want to work for the guys that are going to stick me inside a jail in the dimension.
Yeah, well, I tend to agree with you on that whole freaky dimension situation. I don't think Poke treats his people very well, and then right from Benghazi.
Yeah, well, I suppose you could say that. I mean, maybe it's time for me to just tell you guys some information that you might not know. The loose cannons, shit, that name is only a couple months old as far as I know. Me and Grail were together. We had some on and off work with Cannon, bringing him supplies. A couple of the other guys, they were together. Every once in a while we would trade manpower. It wasn't a gang. I mean, as you know, Rusty, there were no gangs except the high rollers. But we were a loose consortium of independent villain capes. Then Pope comes along and he knows things. He makes offers. He has information. We don't know how he got it, and he ropes us all in. And before we know it, we're kind of interdependent. And no, to be frank, he didn't treat us well. But this outfit isn't like your high rollers. This is well, I say is. I don't think it is anymore. I'm not going back to it.
Well, I'm not going to it. The thing that always kept me with the high rollers was we were kind of like a family. But what with Negative being a cowardly piece of shit and Helter Skelter being a bit of a traitor and Snake Eyes trying to kill me at least once, I'm not feeling too much of the family vibes.
Guys, I just
I'm kind of feeling like maybe it's time to change the way my life is heading. Become one of the good guys.
What? Fuck that.
Why don't we drive up to the Protectorate and see if they're looking for some freelance help?
Guys, I just thought of something. Skip's still back there with the high rollers. And Eric is going to head back there as soon as he gets back in town. We can't quit yet.
Well, I could just call him on the telephone, tell him what's going on.
Yeah, Eric doesn't know how to work those.
Does he have a bleeper?
Fuck no.
Well, that would have solved that problem.
He might.
For the
I actually
future.
don't know.
I don't think he does. Or wait, maybe he still has his. You try bleeping him.
I send him a bleep, like, hey,
Okay.
check in with like a check mark, because that's of course an emoticon supported by the bleeper software.
Of course.
Yeah.
Hashtag check-in.
Yeah. He responds in about 7 minutes.
Eric
Sup.
does?
Sup.
All right, I got he's got it. We got a line.
So what are we going to do?
Well, I mean, I probably could get into Harvard if I worked for the Protectorate for a while. It's not as easy.
I heard that's an excellent resume builder.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, guys. I mean, so, some of us did some stuff.
Well, that's okay. They just put you on the old probationary track, and then you're golden.
We've all done some stuff, but you know what? They're good guys, and they're kind of honor bound to give us a second chance. I know those sissies.
Billy Thompson. A good guy. Huh. He kind of considers it for a while.
Well, I think Billy likes the sound of it. Think of all of the townspeople shouting your name,
Is this really
cheering you.
Is this really happening? Is this really the direction we're going?
I'm
Yep.
fine with it, I guess. App, what do you think?
Well, sir, as long as I get to stretch my legs, I am fine with it. I understand the Protectorate has some delicious technology at its disposal, tinker shops, hardware that we might be, you, sir, might be able to get our hands on, your hands on.
Yeah, see, App's got he's got a great sense of character and great analysis programs. Made them myself. It's good. It's a great idea.
Hey, Justin, what do you think? Okay.
All right. Well, I guess it's decided. Fugazi, I guess you're probably not going to want to ride with us all the way there. Or would you like to?
Well, if I'm gonna make this decision, I'm gonna have to consult Grail. My life is not really in a place where I can spontaneously join the Cape Police Force, but
Mine wasn't either, but here we are.
All right. Well, we'll let you out at the Steak and Shake, and
okay.
and then
Thanks.
we drive to the Protectorate headquarters boldly.
Okay.
You sure? You sure about this one, Rusty?
Oh yeah, we got something they want.
We do? Us?
Yeah, this case of soda pop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna freak out when we show them that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope there's not some kind of evil organization that's going to try to stop us from doing that.
They have no idea what the hell's going on right now.
Yeah, I hope you're aware there's
I was talking
nothing,
about cauldron.
nothing planned for this. I mean, this should probably be. We should probably.
No. I want to show up at the Protectorate.
Yeah, we have.
Okay.
I think that's a good end spot. Is actually going to the Protectorate.
Okay, so you drive up to the Protectorate.
We drive up to Protectorate.
Does
and
Skip
I
meet us
step-
there?
I just call him on the way, and I'm like, well, I don't call him yet. Actually, I'm gonna go to the Protectorate first, just in case information falls into the wrong hands and people try to stop us.
Okay.
But I go into the Protectorate, kind of like raise my hands and have the briefcase in it.
Okay.
Is there anyone like at the front desk, or that are they like they all noticed we came in or something?
Yeah, I mean, there's PRT officers kind of all over the place.
Hello, good guys.
You guys are wearing like costumes, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, well,
like
as far as my costume goes.
I mean, the Protectorate officers like see you, and one of them fairly quickly recognizes you from wanted posters or whatever, or at least recognizes Rusty,
Yeah.
and they draw their weapon. Say, villain cape on the premises, hands up, hands in the air. Obviously-
Gentlemen, I come under a flag of truce.
Wait, Rusty, you're a villain? I am shocked.
Okay. So a couple minutes later,
Oh, you were gonna go for it, huh?
the door flies open, and Paragon steps out, the first to arrive.
What's up?
Paragon,
He looks you over.
I have something here that I would like to offer as a token of our change of heart for the good.
Our sumptuous bodies.
No, young Billy.
What?
This case of green sody pop. I open it.
Okay.
And show.
He looks at it, and it appears to be rather nonplussed. I don't understand. We're going to take you into custody, and we'll have someone look at the sody pop.
I would suggest that it's probably world changing and extremely valuable, so keep it under locks, as it were.
Okay.
Hey, bro, you ever wonder where powers come from?
Yes.
This sody pop.
I am sure that you think that. We'll look at it, and there's more capes arriving in. You still have the case open in front of you. Like Radiant shows up. She kind of like glances over the situation. Is obviously like confused and at high alert or whatever. Finally, Hex comes in through the door, kind of slinking around in the background because she's basically feels embarrassed about you guys in general, and then she kind of glances over and then does a double take, and you notice her eyes fix on the vials, and then she tries to play it off like it was nothing.
Interesting.
So the PRT officers approach you and start to take you into custody.
I just have my hands in the air and follow them.
Okay.
Sure hope we don't regret this, buddy.
I keep App like just kind of floating above the facility somewhere cloaked, just because.
Where's
That's what I would
Justin?
do.
Yeah, I don't know. Did you bring him in with you?
Well, the thing about Justin is,
You don't want to leave him in a hot car.
yeah, but he doesn't really like. So he doesn't really like move anymore
Right.
without guidance.
Without intentional guidance. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I like led him in
Okay.
with me.
By the wrist, perhaps. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I mean, you see, the only like sensible thing that would happen is they would take you to separate rooms, which
Yeah.
then makes this kind of an impossible role playing situation.
We can. I mean, I think we can end it here.
Yeah.
I think
So
I think
yeah, so
camera zooms in on Weeper in Billy's pocket. Message, Eric. I just got back in town, man. Tell me what to do. Da da da.